It is game week. Michigan football gets going in 5 days, folks. And because game day is Saturday, I've been told I've got to get to 27,000 subscribers by game time on Saturday. We're about 150 or so away. So push to 27,000 subscribers. Can we get 27, just 27 of you to subscribe today? YouTube.com/Michigan TV. Told it must have 27,000 subscribers or else. I don't want to know what that means. One other show here, Chat Sports, they were told or else a while back. Didn't hit it. They got fired the next day. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen to us or not, but don't want to find out about it. So go ahead and subscribe to the Michigan Football Report. Hit that sub button or send the link, youtube.com/Michigan TV, to all of your Michigan football friends if you are already a subscriber to the show. There has been a big shakeup on the offensive line for Michigan over the last 10 days or so. Seen two major changes. One we've already told you about, one that kind of really crystallized Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and into the weekend that I think we can realistically put forward, saying that this will be what takes place in the starting lineup coming up on Saturday. So we'll give you the scoop on that. And I want to let you guys know that we are presented by Rhone, R-H-O-N-E. I am rocking Rhone shirt and pants, part of the commuter collection at Rhone. I love Rhone, and you will too. You can tell you more about how you can get 20% off your order at rhone.com/chatsports. Say more about them later in the show. It is the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. We've got some big-time news on the depth chart, some Jim Harbaugh quotes, and a look at the offensive strategy for Saturday. Let's go. Let's put up the vibes, baby. First Monday of a championship season, Big Ten champions, college football playoff national champions. I think that's what's going to happen for this team this year. 15-0. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. It is at James Yoder. I am a little Twitter hiatus. I always think it's good to just kind of decompress your brain. Sometimes I find myself scrolling on Twitter a little bit too much. So take 5, 6, 7 days off. I'll be back and better than ever Saturday morning. All the highlights during the game. Analysis, instant reaction, getting back and forth with you guys. If you want to talk to me on game day and throughout the entire season, it is at James Yoder. Give me a follow today. All right, on this show coming up, we're going to talk about the new offensive line depth chart. There are guys flip-flopping positions, moving forth, moving back. We're going to tell you what to expect when the offense trots out there on Saturday versus East Carolina. And Jim Harbaugh has made some bold statements on the NCAA and NIL. And in some regards, his press conference today actually took away some of the stories that we were going to talk about in today's show. Jack and I had to scramble last minute after Harbaugh's press conferences, kind of switch things up. Let's take a look at what Harbaugh said, specifically on NIL. What I don't understand is how the NCAA, TV networks, conferences, et cetera, can pull in millions, and in some cases billions of revenue off the efforts of college student athletes across the country without providing enough opportunity to share in the ever-increasing revenues. As Harbaugh went on to continue, and we're kind of paraphrasing the best comments here, the current status quo is unacceptable, and it won't survive. He continues, why wouldn't student athletes share in the success of their sport? I'm calling for a system that is fair, equitable, and benefits all involved. Don't exclude the student athletes from the profits. Now, the interesting thing on here, and Harbaugh went on to cite the movie Air and how Michael Jordan's mom made sure that Nike had a rev share agreement with her son, with Michael Jordan in that movie, to make sure if the product was successful, that he was getting profits for years and years to come. Interesting concept there from Harbaugh to reference a pop culture movie, one of the better movies of 2023. Nice little insight from him. He continues, on the future of college football, he says, I'm not saying that I have all the answers. What I'm hoping to accomplish today is sparking some constructive conversation and timely action with and between the NCAA, conferences, coaches, universities, and a certain group representing the certain athletes, as well as experts and legal minds who specialize in revenue sharing. So Jim Harbaugh making a stand that the universities, the schools, the TV networks should be part of paying players and not just leave it off to one-off NIL deals. I don't think it's a bad idea at all, given that these TV contracts are in the 10s, 50, 75. Big Ten giving Michigan $100+ million in TV revenue this year is what the expectation is between CBS, NBC, and the Big Ten Network. It's game week, folks. Predict the score down in the comments. Michigan, ECU. Predict your score in the comments. I think I said 52-9, right, Jack? So this is the time. Go down. I'm going to pin this comment below the video. It'll be the very top comment on the video. Go down. Give me your score prediction. Of course, let me know if Michigan's going to win if you think they are. I'll give some shout-outs to anybody who predicts the score or who gets closest. While you guys go down there, take a look at this ad read from today's presenting sponsor, and that is Rhone. Guys, I'm sure sure many of you are just like me and have a social life, parenting responsibilities, and even, heck, time to hit the golf course outside of work, sometimes even on company time. Well, I've got a solution to the hassle of changing clothes between your daily activities. It is the Commuter Collection from Roan athletic dress pants, shirts, and apparel. Men's closets were due for a radical reinvention, and Roan stepped up to the challenge. I am wearing the Roan's Commuter Collection shirt and commuter pants, both part of the Commuter Collection, which is the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of products known to man. And here's why. Roan helps you get ready for any occasion with the Commuter Collection, which offers the most comfortable pants, dress pants, quarter zips, and polos. You never have to worry about what you wear when you have the Roan Commuter Collection. It's stretchable four-way fabric. It provides breathability and flexibility. It's got wrinkle release technology. You put this shirt on, you think it might be a little wrinkly, boom, wrinkles disappear, and Gold Fusion anti-odor technology helps you smell fresh and clean all day long. On top of that, it's 100% machine washable, so you can ditch the dry cleaner altogether. I love the comfort, the flexibility, and just the durability of these Roan shirts. I don't have to go to the dry cleaners. I can wear them to the office, to the golf course, to my son's football practice. Head over to roan.com/chatsports. Use promo code chatsports to save 20% off your Roan order. Don't be the guy who's got to take his shirts to the dry cleaners, or the guy who shows up with a dress shirt that's all wrinkly and has one of these bacon neck going on. Get some Roan, RHONE.com/chatsports. Use code chatsports. It is time to find your corner office comfort. Let's talk about the offensive line. The guy making the splash over the last week plus is Trente Jones. He was your game one starter in 2022. And if you guys watched the show then, you would have saw that I was a guy who was criticizing him heavily early on. He got injured, right? First few games, Trente Jones got injured, and by the time he came back, he had lost his starting spot in the lineup for Michigan and was really relegated to like 6th, 7th, sometimes even 8th guy on the totem pole there of offensive linemen for Michigan last year. The emergence of Karsen Barnhart has created a new opportunity at right tackle, right? We thought it was going to be LaDarius Henderson at left tackle, Karsen Barnhart at right. Barnhart putting in work. He's the best offensive lineman probably so far in camp. He's going to switch over to left tackle for now. Henderson's going to be right behind them. I think those guys will both get a lot of snaps, maybe even both with the ones. And then Myles, Hinton, Trente Jones. I've got Trente Jones as my starter for right tackle. We're going to tell you more about the offensive line depth chart here in a moment. Trente Jones making a splash in practice. Let's take a look at my initial offensive line depth chart. If you guys saw the live show a couple weeks ago, put this out there. I was confident. I was very confident that this was going to be the lineup that Michigan rolled with in the first game. But as of now, 5 days from game time, I do no longer think that this will be the case. I'll show you my new offensive line depth chart in one moment. My take, though, on Trente Jones, we can't forget about last year. He was the starting right tackle in the first game, in the second game, in the third game. And after every game, I'm like, Trente Jones kind of stinks. You look at the offensive linemen, 4 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys sometimes are holding their blocks. And Trente Jones is the guy giving up sacks. Some people want to blame Cade McNamara's injury, on him a little bit in the second game. I don't necessarily think that's the case, but some of the worst sacks of the first few games of last year occurred on Trente Jones' watch. So he's got a lot to prove, and if he sticks around and gets this the starting job and he keeps it all year, big shout out to him, and he'll likely position himself to be drafted coming up in April for the NFL draft. I'll tell you about my new offensive line depth chart in a moment. But coming up, I want to jump into, and this is one of these things I thought I had a scoop. I was pretty confident on it. Was told some things on the offensive coordinator, the offensive game plan for Saturday. Jim Harbaugh went and he cucked me, Jack. He broke the news an hour ago at his press conference. Saturday, though, Jack and I, young Harbaugh, Michigan ECU watch party. The game is on Peacock, so you might not be able to watch it. But if you do, I don't know if those are the kind of, Mike Tirico's calling it cool. But if you want a Michigan-centric call, put the game on the TV, have Jack and I on your iPad, your phone, your laptop, or vice versa. We'll be live about 45 minutes before the game, 11:15 Eastern. We'll be live all the way through the postgame, so probably 4.5 hours straight of this face and young Harbaugh. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Set your reminders, 11:15 a.m. on Saturday. Here's my new offensive line depth chart. We got Karsen Barnhart backed up by LaDarius Henderson. All right, on the other side, right tackle, Trente Jones I've got as my starter, backed up by Myles Hinton. The only transfer of the three big transfers who were starters in the Pac-12 last year is Drake Nugent there as your starting center. Trevor Keegan, Zach Sinter. This is going to be a dangerous offensive lineman. You are going 7, even 8 deep with Giovanni El-Hadi, guys who have starting experience. Don't be surprised, though. Do not be surprised if this offensive line changes. Last year, changed a bunch, right? There were injuries. There were guys who weren't performing very well. LaDarius Henderson, it's really on the tackles, right? LaDarius Henderson and Karsen Barnhart. Which one of those guys plays best over the first 2, 3, 4 games? That's the one they're going to go with into the Big Ten season. Same thing on the right tackle position. Trente Jones, it's his job for the taking. If he doesn't play up to expectations and Myles Hinton gets in there, maybe Myles Hinton is your starting right tackle. Or hell, maybe LaDarius Henderson or Karsen Barnhart, maybe one of those guys moves over, and it's kind of the original 5 that I put out in our depth chart from about a week and a half ago. The point spread has changed just a little bit. Michigan is now a 36-point favorite in this game. For the last few weeks, it's been 35.5. It's bumped up a half point. The over-under has remained at 51.5. The kickoff on Peacock and here at Michigan Football Report Watch Party, noon Eastern for the game on Saturday at Michigan Stadium. We will be live at 11:15 p.m. Eastern. This is the story that I thought I had a scoop on last night into this morning, but Jim Harbaugh broke the news in his press conference today. Kirk Campbell will be your offensive coordinator for the opener. He has had coordinator experience. He's had 2 different stints. One, 6, 7, 8 years ago at a really small school, and then in 2020 and 2021, he was the offensive coordinator for Old Dominion before coming up to last year to Michigan in a offensive analyst role, getting promoted to quarterbacks coach after the untimely departure of the last quarterbacks coach, Matt Weiss, and now with Sharon Moore suspended, as we were the first to break that news a week and a half ago, Sharon Moore suspended for the opener. Kirk Campbell will be the OC for that game. Now, I think that Sharon Moore will probably be, he's going to be the head coach for that second game. So I'm not really sure how things are going to shake out, if Campbell will be the OC for the entire time Jim Harbaugh is out or not. But as of now, here's what Jim Harbaugh has had to say on Kirk Campbell today. I'm very confident in Kirk's ability. He's been preparing. We talk about being dialed in for a game. He's getting as dialed in as well as anybody I have ever seen. Quite a statement there from Jim Harbaugh on Kirk Campbell. First time in major college football as a coach, an assistant coach, he's getting the bump up from quarterbacks coach to temporary OC for Michigan. Light up the scoreboard, Kirk. Make every school around the country take notice of Michigan's offense with you in the limited opportunity 1, maybe up to 3 games you've got as the OC. And if you think about back to Kirk Campbell, since he's come back, Michigan has had J.J. McCarthy speaks very highly of him, and Bryce Underwood, right? Michigan was dead in the water in his recruitment, the number 1 player in the 2025 class, quarterback from Belleville, Michigan. Now they're right there with LSU, and it's mostly because of the game planning and recruitment of one Kirk Campbell. With Campbell at the helm, I want to know what you guys think about this question. How many pass attempts will Michigan have against East Carolina? And back in 2021, it was the ground game for Michigan, the ground rate offense, only 17 passes, mostly with Cade McNamara quarterback. JJ did come in for a little bit. And then in 2022, remember, it was Cade early, then JJ after him, so more opportunities for guys to shine. I'm shying back. It'll be more towards 2021, but with Harbaugh and Sharon Moore there, hey, maybe Michigan takes a shot at being a little more offensive pass happy, even when they're up points. So I'm gonna guess like 26 is the attempt I'll have. 23, 24 for JJ and 4-5 for other guys. Let me know how many of you guys think, how many pass attempts for East Carolina, for Michigan against East Carolina coming up on Saturday. I want to wrap up today's show with a couple sportsbook odds that I thought were interesting. Slight changes in a few things, and we're going to talk more about some season-long odds coming up on a show on Tuesday, and then our live show, live show Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern. We will be live again this Wednesday. How about Michigan making the college football playoffs, Jack? That should be college football playoff, but we'll keep it up there. We don't have to edit that. The people understand what we mean. It should say college football playoff, CFP. Yes, so it's more likely than not Michigan will make the CFP. So if you want to make some money, you bet no against Michigan. You put up $100, you get your 100 back, you win 125. If you put up 100 for yes, you're only I'm sorry, it's not even 125. You got to put 125 up, to win 100. Same with put 105 up to win 100 on yes. So more likely than not, they make the college football playoff. You can make all these bets at BetUS, our preferred sportsbook partner. Still have the jersey deal going on, so if you guys saw that, jersey at chatsports.com. We put on the last few shows last week and then over the weekend. Chatsports.com/GoBlue. Get going with BetUS. Promo code GoBlue, and then email us here at ChatSports, jersey at chatsports.com to get a free Michigan football Jordan brand jersey. Email us when you get going with BetUS, chatsports.com/GoBlue. You got to use that link in the promo code so you show up on our tracker. Another one I want to point out there. It is much more likely than not that Michigan wins 10.5 games. So basically what the sportsbooks are saying here is, look, if you think that Michigan's going to win less than 10 games, you're going to win some more money than if they win over that. So, this is basically the difference between going 10-2 and 11-1 or 12-0. Obviously, you can go worse than 10-2 as well. Much better odds. So the sportsbooks think that Michigan's going to go either 11-1, 12-0, or 12-0, and either way make the playoff. The really interesting thing I think about just odds in general for this college football season is it seems like there's a little conundrum there with Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. What happens if Penn State beats either Michigan or Ohio State, loses the other one, and then they're going into that final game of the year? They win, they're 11-1. Is it the winner of the Michigan-Ohio State game and Penn State, or if Michigan-Ohio State is undefeated and the other one, the one who's undefeated loses, and you have 3 11-1 teams, it's Michigan-Ohio State because their brand name and their higher rankings going into that final game, do they get the nod even over Penn State if Penn State were to beat one of them? They basically all went 1-1 against the other two. That's just a food for thought on that one. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. Again, it's at James Yoder. I will be back on point, going 0 to 100 on Twitter all season long, Saturday morning, bright and early. And I do want to thank everyone who has contributed a $10 super chat to the channel. The producers, we're calling them, the guys who contributed, 40 people contribute $10 or more in a single super chat last season from like mid-November through the end of March, and I wanted to give a shout out to them. So that is our end screen. Watch the end screen today. Give shout outs to the producers, and join us Wednesday, 5 o'clock, or Saturday, 11:15 Eastern. Be a member of the producers with a simple $10 super chat you can make yourself at the end of next year's end screen. Go ahead, watch the video now. See you guys tomorrow. Go Blue.